my next guest has been on the show many times, as you'll know. Last year, Kelsey Parker shared with us all that she had found love again with her new partner, Will. And they announced they were pregnant a few months ago. But in June, Kelsey revealed the heartbreaking news that their baby son, Phoenix, had died just 1 week before his due date. And Kelsey joins us now. Thank you so much, Kelsey, for being here this morning. I can only imagine how raw this all still must feel for you and the whole family. But I also know you feel emotionally charged to share your story, to try to help other families going through similar situations. It's what's spurring you on right now, in fact.
Yeah, it is. And for me, we know that I'm a sharer. I love to talk. And I think a problem shared is a problem halved. And I just want to be honest and open. And I know people are absolutely devastated for us as a family. And it is devastating. But I am strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we know that. And I know you did decide to share the news. It was a very heartfelt poem on your Instagram, and you talk about everyone being devastated for you. I was when I read it. I thought, oh, my goodness, I can't believe this is happening. And this poem, I think, was the most fitting way for you to say what you wanted to say in that moment. And I'm sure that's the reaction that you got too.
Yeah, I know. I have friends that obviously I couldn't tell, and they were out in restaurants and they were literally read the post and they were crying. And, you know, for me, a poem, I like to share poems. I think they're so meaningful and powerful. And yeah, that suited us to share our news.
Yeah, of course.
And I think it's such hard news to share.
Of course it is. What way is the right way? What are the words? I think that's exactly what the issue is. And I think it was because you mentioned the name Phoenix in the poem too. It just suddenly made everything feel very, very real. And that was always going to be his name.
Yeah.
And so it was so important in that moment for you to share that with all of us. I mean, Kelsey, you've had to learn to live with various coping mechanisms since Tom passed away, and suddenly you're having to tap into those again. But I know the children have been, and always will be, this driving force for you, because they still need their breakfast. You still have to take them to school. You still have to create a normal life for them. And I guess that's your superpower right now.
Yeah, my kids are my everything, and, you know, they have got me through the darkest of times. I can't believe I'm back here, you know, 3.5 years later. I'm dealing with such a loss and a devastation. But me and Will have the kids, and, you know, they have to have normality. They have to go to school. I did do the school run. And I think for me as well, you have to rip the plaster off at some point. And if I'd left it till after the summer holidays and I came back and I saw the parents, people don't know what to say. We're so awful about talking about grief and loss and death. And us as a family, we're not. So I did get up and I did do the school run, and I faced everyone.
Yeah, and that was your way of day one. This is what we had to do. It's very difficult though, isn't it? Like you say, we're not good at talking about grief and death, and it's something that you think we need to get better at. But how have you tried to navigate all of that with your children? Is it just a case of being really honest?
It's being honest, it's telling them facts, because I never wanted them or want them to feel like I've not been honest, and years later they go, oh, but Mum, you didn't tell me this and you didn't tell me that. And I don't like the thought of them being in separate rooms to adults and adults having conversations, because kids listen. You know, your kids will be sat playing with a toy, but they're listening to your conversations. So for me, we are so honest with them.
And so they were very aware.
And obviously they've gone through this before. They've lost their dad. They know their dad's in with the Angels now. So we said Phoenix is gone with your daddy.
And they're still so young too, isn't it? But like you say, they've had to endure a great deal for their young ages. How are you doing, Kelsey and Will? How are you coping as the grown-ups here?
Do you know what? For me, we just take each day, and each day looks so different for both of us. But I'm strong. I keep saying this, but I am actually really strong. And you know, the one thing we are guaranteed is that we are going to die. So I do think talking about death and grief is so important.
And taking whatever time you need, do it your way. I think that's important. I know you stepped away from social media, for instance. You just needed a little bit of time to
This
focus.
time round, it was a lot for me. I felt it was a lot to face everyone on social media, and I just needed that time away. And I know that, you know, everyone that follows me, they sent me so much love, and all my friends, but I just needed that bit of time. And we just went on holiday, and it was so lovely for us to get away as a family unit.
Just to have, yeah, it's just to sort of allow yourself to breathe again.
Yeah,
I think,
it's that breathing space. And I think as well with losing a baby, it's your hormones as well.
Of course.
My hormones have been all over the place.
Yeah. It's such a tough thing and incredibly difficult to try to describe that grief to anyone who hasn't been through it. It's horrific. I mean, what wisdom would you try to share with anyone at home that thinks, oh my gosh, I know what you're going through? Is there anything that you would advise?
I think you just need to sit with it. You need to do what's best for you. And if that means you don't get out of bed, don't get out of bed. If you feel like you can go and do the school run, do the school run. I think we live in a society now where everyone judges. And honestly, there is no judgment with grief, because grief looks so different for every person, and it's your experience.
Yeah. And taking any help that you can get. And I know you have had a bereavement nurse who has been incredible to you. And, you know, if you're lucky enough to have family and friends around you, really take that on board. Don't feel like you have to shoulder everything yourself. I think that's an important thing.
She is my angel sent to me, honestly. She has just been there for me. We talk every day. It's just that power of having that someone else to come in, because your friends and family are great, and, you know, my family are great at coming in and picking up the pieces for me, and they've had to do that the second time around. But having my bereavement nurse, she has been, like I said, an angel sent to me.
It's the outsider thing. Sometimes it works better, doesn't it? But I know also you are a doer, Kelsey, and like you say, your coping mechanism is ripping the Band-Aid off, as you've described, and sort of trying to get back to a normal life, whatever that is, some resemblance of. We know, like, about your podcast, of course, that's still a big sort of passion project of yours. And in fact, you'd recorded quite a few episodes before Little Phoenix, and now, sadly, I know they're still going out. And that's quite a difficult thing, I guess, but it was important for you that they were still broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's my journey. This is my life, this is my journey, this is me being me. That's what my social media is, it's me being me. So how could I had them guests on and go, oh no, we're not going to use them now because I was actually pregnant with Phoenix? No, life continues. I want people to go onto the podcast, listen to our episodes.
Yeah, exactly that. And also, it's another campaign, and you've been involved with this campaign for a long time, but for some reason it's now particularly poignant, I think. And it's called Community Calling. And it's urging all of us to rediscover our old photos which you now know can be so precious and valuable. And we've all got old phones lying in drawers at home somewhere with thousands of pictures that you kind of think, oh, the phone's there, at least I haven't lost them, but you don't do anything about. And you're trying to encourage all of us to get those old photos back, because we all know they mean so much.
The photos mean everything, and that is why I jumped on this campaign with Virgin Media O2. It was so important. So Community Calling, you head over there and you can send your device off, back your device up. It will give you a step-by-step guide how to do it. The first 500 people who send their devices off will actually get a photo book, and the photo book was so precious to me when I got mine. But also, it's the power of these old phones, because they're sat in drawers, but these phones can actually be a lifeline to someone else. And, you know, for the homeless, for a woman that's fleeing a domestic violence relationship. But you know what? For me now, having that phone, being able to speak to my bereavement nurse, if I didn't have a phone to be able to call my bereavement nurse and have them conversations, then I would be lost. And I think that's the power of this campaign is, you know, get your old phones out, back them up and send your devices off, because they honestly will be a lifeline to someone else.
Yeah, it does. And like I said, the picture thing for me is so important. We all do it, don't we? We just have things and you never print them out, and it's so special. I'm sure, my goodness, you must have so many pictures to you now that will forever be precious.
Yeah, they're precious. And also, when we got our photo book, it was the excitement from the kids.
Yeah,
when that came through, the kids opened it, and it was the physical, because they don't sit on the phone and scroll and go, oh, yeah, Mum, this is from 2000 and blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? we've got all these phones, but let's get them out in physical.
Kelsey, you are remarkable. I mean, I've said that before, but I think your strength of character, and I completely assume you will have moments behind closed doors where you're not feeling like, and that's very much allowed.
Yeah, of course.
But certainly, you know, on the surface and in terms of your children and everything else, you have been remarkable. And life has to carry on, like you say, and you're going to do the best with it. Thanks so much, Kelsey, for sharing your story. And like we say, it was all about trying to talk about this. We can't hide the fact that we lose our babies, unfortunately. So many of us do. And it's devastating, and we're allowed to be devastated.
We are allowed to be devastated. We're allowed to be sad, and we're allowed to grieve. But just remember, everybody grieves differently.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Kelsey. It's lovely, lovely to see you this morning. If you've been affected by anything that we have just discussed, you'll find helplines on our website. Hi there, thanks for watching our YouTube channel where we upload new videos every single day. You can click here if you're interested in this video or head to the homepage for some more amazing content.